I'm left cold sober. My baby left me for somebody new.
Everyone knows Freddie Mercury as one of the best singers and performers of all time. But how did the charismatic vocalist of Queen rise to the top of the rock world? Join us as we take a look at the childhood of Freddie Mercury. Freddie's story starts off with a bombshell. The singer you've come to know and love actually used a stage name through his whole career with Queen. Freddie was born Frederick Bulsara on September 5, 1946, to his parents Bombay and Frederick Bulsara. Frederick was born in a place called Stonetown, in what used to be called the British Protectorate of Zanzibar, which is now part of Tanzania. Frederick and Bombay hailed from the Parsi people in western India, and they got their family name from the city they lived in, a place called Balsar in Gujarat, which has since been renamed Valsad. Frederick also later got a younger sister named Kashmira, and the family later moved to Zanzibar for work. Bombay was a cashier at the British Colonial Office and had to relocate since Zanzibar was still under British authority until 1963. While the politics of the whole situation are messy, young Frederick got the benefit of being born as a British subject, which made it easier for him to register as an official citizen of the United Kingdom later in life. When Frederick was young, he and his parents discovered he had supernumerary incisors, or extra teeth. While extra teeth could pose a problem, Frederick embraced his unique anatomy, and he later attributed his amazing vocal range to these extra incisors. These 4 extra teeth gave Freddie his famous bucktooth grin and his first nickname, Bucky. Although there can be dental complications with his extra teeth, Frederick never got them removed because he was afraid it could impact his singing. Freddie was a world-renowned vocalist, but his talents are even more impressive when you learn he could sing across a whopping 4 octave ranges. That kind of power helped him be the flexible vocalist he was during his time as Queen's frontman. The Bulsaras had a very unique culture, which included their roots in a very unique religion known as Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism, or Mazdayasana, was based on the teachings of the Iranian prophet Zoroaster. Not only is this one of the oldest religions ever, it's also one of the first monotheistic beliefs, and it even influenced the Greeks, Judaism, Christianity, and Buddhism. The future Freddie Mercury spent most of his young life in India, where he lived with his aunt and grandparents in Bombay. There, Freddie's musical talents were clear from the time he was in grade school. He moved in with relatives and began learning the piano at just 7 years old. Just 1 year later, he was sent to a British boarding school for boys called St. Peter's School in Panchgani. Frederick's ambition and extroversion were already helping him achieve greatness even as a child. Just 4 years after moving to Panchgani, Frederick formed a school band called the Hectics. With his new band, he covered popular and lesser-known rock artists of the 1950s, including Little Richard and Cliff Richard. It was a different world back then. What we consider rock music today was actually known as Western pop, and Freddie loved it. His friends and bandmates remarked that he could sit down at his piano and replay anything he heard on the radio. During these formative years for the brilliant musician, Frederick's friends gave him the nickname Freddie, and it stuck with him for the rest of his life. Almost a decade after he went to St. Peter's School, he moved back to Zanzibar with his family, but trouble was brewing in the world around him. Shortly after Freddie's return, a violent revolution broke out against the Sultan of Zanzibar, where thousands of Arabic and Indian people were killed before the bloodshed ended. So, the Bulsaras fled the country on June 2, 1969, and Frederick and his family immigrated to England, which opened the doors to a bright future for Frederick. Once in England, Freddie went to university. First, he studied art at Isleworth Polytechnic in West London. Then, he studied graphic art and design at Ealing Art College, where he graduated with a diploma in 1969. The skills he learned at college would later come in handy when Freddie designed the coat of arms artwork for Queen. This logo became known as the Queen Crest, and it features the zodiac signs of the band members, with Deacon and Taylor both Leos, represented by lions. Brian May, a Cancer sign, was represented by the crab, and the Virgo, Mercury, gave himself 2 fairies on the crest. Instead of landing a job in his field of study, he worked in Kensington Market with his new friend Roger Taylor. Together, they sold secondhand clothes, while Freddie moonlit in a variety of small local bands. When that wasn't enough to make ends meet, he got a job as a baggage handler at Heathrow Airport. All these different experiences might not be as glamorous as singing on stage in front of huge crowds, but they helped Freddie become worldly. Freddie drew from these unique life experiences to craft lyrics that anyone could relate to, and that's a big reason why Queen was so successful. Even though Freddie was gaining experiences that would last a lifetime, he wasn't the same outgoing person we knew him in Queen. Roger Taylor thought Freddie was reserved and quiet back then, but everyone knew of Freddie's intense interest in music, and they were increasingly figuring out his amazing talent as well. The same year he graduated, Freddie joined the band Ibex from Liverpool. Ibex would later rename themselves Wreckage, and they played blues rock in the style of Jimi Hendrix. While working with Ibex, Freddie lived in a small apartment above a pub called Dovedale Towers, right near the famous Penny Lane in the Mossley Hill district. Although Freddie gave Wreckage his all, the band didn't pan out. So from there, he joined Sour Milk Sea, who hailed from Oxford. However, after less than a year, Sour Milk Sea had sunk to an all-time low and the band split ways. While it was probably sad for Freddie at the time, this would be one of the best things to ever happen to the young Bulsara. In April of 1970, after leaving Sour Milk Sea, Freddie was invited to join a group with his friends from the clothes store, Roger Taylor, and a new guitarist named Brian May, and thus, Freddie became the lead singer of their band called Smile. 1 year later, the group recruited bassist John Deacon. They were already doing well by this point and had signed up for a management firm called Trident Studios. It was at that moment that the band called Smile had to decide if that was going to be their name going forward. The management and the rest of the band didn't like Freddie's choice, but Freddie stuck to his guns and they became Queen. When asked about why Freddie fought so hard for the name Queen, he said, "It's very regal, obviously, and it sounds splendid. It's a strong name, very universal and immediate. I was certainly aware of the gay connotations, but that was just one facet of it." After Smile transformed into Queen, Freddie underwent a transformation of his own and changed his name from Bulsara to the iconic Mercury, and the world of rock music would be changed forever. That's the story of how Frederick Bulsara became Freddie Mercury. What did you think of his unique childhood? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, click that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.